everybody, welcome back out to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing our 10mm series. We're going to be looking at the AAC 180 grain XTP projectile that they put out. We're going to be testing it through our 3 10mm and we'll see how it goes. Let's get going. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at this America's Ammunition Company 10mm 180 grain XTP hollow point. Should be going around 1200 feet per second. We'll put that to the test when we get to the lab radar portion. We have our XDM Elite from Springfield Armory. It's the OSP edition, and it has that fantastic meta trigger. One of the funny things about today is I do not have a magazine with it, so we'll be running it like a single shot. Fortunately, for me at least, it does not have it does still work when it does not have a magazine in it. We have our Sig Sauer Emperor Scorpion 1911, chambered in 10mm. That's a 5-inch barrel, and I'm sorry, this is a 3.8-inch barrel. Then we have our 6-inch barrel from Tanfoglio. And we've been doing some continued upgrades. We now have a thumb rest, or a gas pedal. We now have our slide-mounted, frame-mounted optic, and we have a slide racking mechanism. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is kitted out to be like a race gun. I am definitely not one of those, but I'm definitely trying to figure out what it would take to make this gun like that. It's a single action hammer fired CZ style gun, and it's a 6-inch barrel, and that's the most important thing. We got 6-inch, we got 5-inch, we have 3.8-inch. Let's just test this ammunition. We're going to be doing a few different things. We're going to be testing for accuracy, and that's just going to be me standing and shooting. We're going to be testing with a lab radar, and we're going to be doing some gel shots. Let's get going. Okay, we're only about 10 yards from the target, but we're going to test just some kind of standing accuracy that I can do. We're not going to shoot the 3.8 XDM Elite for accuracy. We're going to do that later when we test for muzzle velocity and when we shoot it into the gel. We're going to skip that part for now. Trigger bar wasn't really thinking. I already mentioned it before, but we don't have a magazine for it, so it doesn't really, we could do one shot, and then I'm not loading it like a single shot. So let's just shoot the 5-inch. We have 7 rounds. We'll try to aim for middle of the target. Okay, that's not bad. It's a nice little group. Yeah, you can see it. It's a little bit left to right on it, but really happy with where that's shooting with this 180 grain. Next, let's go to the Tanfoglio. I think that's definitely acceptable accuracy. Could someone better shooter than me shoot that better? 100%. Maybe a different gun, better, 100%. But I would say that passes the accuracy test. Let's see what we can do with the Tanfoglio. We're going to see what we can do with, again, practical accuracy. This time we're going to aim for the head box, and we'll see how this ammunition goes with the Tanfoglio. All right, that's pretty slick. I want to do one more test. Let's see what happens when we let it rip with this Tanfoglio. Okay, so one last test with the Tanfoglio that I want to do for me. Sorry that I'm throwing this in here to the video, but I want to test some reliability with these jacketed hollow points. I had some problems with some Underwood ammunition, lubed it up, and I just want to see how this thing is running, and I want to see if I can get it off in a little bit more rapid fire succession. All right, gun's doing fine. Don't know about trigger bar. Let's get up to the gel testing and we'll see how these bullets perform in the 3.8-inch, the 5-inch, and the 6-inch in gel. We're using this old ratty gel block that I used for my 460 roll-in testing. We're gonna try to get some shots in here. Here is the 3.8-inch, and we're gonna see how that goes. All right, so we take a look at it. There is that wound track right there. Very good expansion, even out of that 3.8-inch barrel. Let me go get my tape measure and we'll keep continuing. All right, trigger bar has an itty bitty tape measure. You can see this goes out to about 15 inches. This bullet right here, you look down there. It's about 15 inches as I line it up, maybe 14 3/4. I'm sure it'll look different off camera, but yeah, let's move on to the 5-inch model. Okay, and what we have here is the 5-inch Sig Sauer Emperor Scorpion. Try to put one right in here. All right, looks like a good one. Let's take a look at where that went in. It went in right here. So we have that wound cavity and it starts to overlap with some of the other ones. It looks just a little bit bigger and goes all the way down to here, which if we get our mini tape measure out, we're looking at, I'm thinking with that one, it's still right around 15 inches, maybe just a touch longer than the 3.8-inch. Right about the same depth, and then we'll have to dig it out, see what the expansion is on this. All right, now we have the 6-inch Tanfoglio. See if I can put this right in the right spot in the gel. Yeah, I think that'll work out. Let's take a look. We got that one right up here, which is exactly where I wanted to put it. That's the wound track, and that's where it ended up. Looks to be just an inch or two, just an inch longer than where and we got a little bit of bounce back in that one too. So yeah, that one's right around 16 inches, maybe 15.5 inches, and the other one's just less than 15 inches, so there to there. So we see some nice, a little bit more penetration. I'm sure we're going to see some expansion. Let me dig that out and we get those compared now. All right, so let's just take a look at it. This is where we have the 3.8-inch over here on the left, the 5-inch over here in the middle, and the 6-inch over on the other end. We can see that these are a very traditional type soft point. It's the old XTP, and we get in somewhere around 0.6, I don't know, 0.5, somewhere 0.66, 0.65, I don't know, somewhere in that range with each one. I do think it's interesting. I feel like we got a little bit more expansion on this 3.8-inch model versus the 5-inch versus the other. This is a little bit taller, although the pedals maybe are getting in the way from sitting it down quite as deep. Which is, yeah, those pedals are kind of crazy how far back they are. They push back beyond the base, and this is that 6-inch one. It's a very nice expansion. I would say in your shorter 3.8-inch barrel, those are nice, right? You don't need the extra length barrel if you're worried about getting expansion. Now, we do not have denim in front of this. That could definitely change the equation on all of these, but I just wanted to give you a comparison between them just in normal gel. All right. Okay, so first up, we've got the Springfield XDM Elite 3.8-inch. We're just going to shoot one round. Going back to my other thing, there is no magazine in here. So we're going to shoot one round, just get our velocity off of that. 1230. That's not bad. That's actually pretty nice ammunition. Let's go next up to the Springfield XDM Elite. We're going to create a new group and move on. All right, next up we have the 5-inch Emperor Scorpion. Have 4 rounds in here. We're going to shoot those and collect the data. 1263. 1260, 1278, 1262. That's a nice little group. Just quickly bring up the add up. From the add-up, we had a high of 1266, or an average of 1266, high of 1278, low of 1260, standard deviation of 8.2, and the number of shots were 4. That's really some, again, we try to look for, when I'm looking for range ammunition, I want something that's 200 grains going 1,200 feet per second. This is 180 grains, but that's above 1250. This is some good stuff. I would say that this is decent 10 millimeter ammunition. So I know I'm soapboxing and everything right now, but just gotta really love this America's Ammunition Company. They seem to be doing a lot of things right. Their 10 millimeter line, both their FMJ, their XTP is doing well. Let's now move to the Tanfoglio and see what a 6-inch barrel does to this round. Okay, we have the 6-inch Tanfoglio. Let's see what that does. 1294, 1350, 1312, 1332. That's some nice 10 millimeter ammunition. Let's take a look and see what that add-up gives us. Man, I'm really impressed with America's Ammunition Company. They keep laying it down. The 5.7, they're doing great. 9 millimeters doing good. All right, so we had an average of 1322. That's a 180 grain projectile going 1322. Put the energy foot-pounds in, but that is impressive. The high of 1350, the low of 1294. Extreme spread of 57. Standard deviation 24.5. Not the best, but only 4 shots on that. Super happy with this. Okay, so final thoughts on this ammunition from AAC. I think it's a fantastic self-defense round. We saw on the gel block that it did a very good job. Probably should test this with gelatin. Sometimes the XTPs don't open up, but I'll leave that for testing for another day or for perhaps another YouTuber. But in general, this ammunition is loaded very well. Something that certainly is living up to the 10 millimeter name. I think the ammunition is accurate. I think it's affordable, which makes it for the double bonus. This could be what is your most affordable self-defense round for 10 millimeter. Let me know what you think is your favorite self-defense round for 10 millimeter. Do you have other choices? Is there something that you think that beats this in price performance? I know in the FMJs, MagTech does it. I'm not sure what their prices are on their hollow points if it beats it for self-defense, but this is pretty good in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe to the channel. It sure helps us out. Hope everyone has a great day, and let's get to shooting.